Welcome to the first week of June. What the heck do I get myself into? I'm trying to find my way to a spot I haven't been to in probably about 8 months. All right, I'm in. I just checked the timer. I set a timer to see how long it's going to take me to take a brisk walk out here. 37 minutes, man. I'm going to be stuck out here the rest of the day. We ain't going to be going to another spot. I got out here kind of late. It's about 2:30 right now. And if it takes almost 40 minutes to walk out here, it's going to take 40 minutes to walk back. So I got to keep that in mind, you know. I'm just out here within the heat, the humidity, looking for the ancient things. Well, there is something here that's kind of ancient. It's a midden shell. I find these things in this creek all the time. This is one of the lesser weird looking rock. That's one of the smaller ones that I ever found out here. It's a midden shell from the ancient times. Probably a few hundred years old. Probably a couple thousand maybe. It's a tiny one. They're usually a little bit larger than this. They probably have some great big monumental community dating all the way back to the Paleo times further up the creek where I find these things all the time. I'm still trying to pinpoint that thing. I wish this artifact stuff was always going to be out here though. Always praying that it's going to be endless. Something might be worked right here. Probably a giant preform. Probably a crap. Yeah, it is. It's a crap y'all draws piece. What's that? It's a crap y'all draws piece. Boy, that's a pretty thing right here. They've been working off that bevel. They saw that geometry right there. Turned it to the side and just started working on that thing. That would have been a pretty piece too. It looks like a piece of candy. Let's go ahead and leave it out here. They're still working on it. We'll probably come back a few hundred years from now and find that thing. That is such a pretty piece. What's that? I still want to know where the real deal Holyfield stuff is though. You know, banner stones, soapstone figurines. Still waiting. Still trying. Too bad it's not intact. It's exactly what we're looking for, but it would have been in a little small one. Where's that thing at? Sticks out like a perfect thumb. Got a tip to a busted one, man. Boy. Good find. Man. Probably a little baby toy axe. Little slug. Come on, little guy. Sorry. I usually do a strength test on these things. Probably a little kid axe. You'd think I should just leave it out here, man. Yeah, let's not. It's hard. Let's not do a strength test on this thing. This thing could have been for the little kids, though. Man, if I collect this thing, I don't want them to come back after me, man, and say, you took my kid's rock. Man, they're still out here. They are. I got an EVP in one of my last videos, and it says, he's back out here looking for our stuff. In a female voice. That was like a video from a couple of months ago. I just completed the other night. I was out looking for the good stuff, and someone said that, man. You're going to say that's a piece of cement. No, it's not. It's kind of geology out here. There's a ton of these rocks out here like this, man. It looks like a little kid axe. I don't know, man. I mean, this thing could be legit. For the babies out here, man. The ancient little ones. Man, if I recover this thing, they might be mad at me. You know, I have, respect for them. I don't want to take their little stuff, though. Man, let me go ahead and recover it, man. Let's hope they enjoy that we found it, though. Let's put it like that. But look at this scary looking thing right here. Check out this piece of bark or this piece of wood. Only I can see this for what it is. It reminds me back in like the Chattahoochee when I was out there picking up garbage last fall, last winter. And right in the middle of the river on the boulders, a bird crapped on the boulder and left an outline of a human being with holding grabbers at its side. But this right here is something different, man. Look at this optical illusion that only I will recognize what this thing is. How scary. Let me move this leaf. That's a human figure looking down, pointing at something with their arm. Look at that. There's the leg. That's the leg. That's one of the arms, most likely left arm. There's the right arm on the side, that extra geometry sticking out. And there's their head. Look at that. Look how they're looking down. There's the forehead. There's the eye. Look at that. There's the eye. There's the nose. The mouth is kind of jacked up. They're looking down at the ground. And they're pointing at something. Man, I'm taking a reference picture. Hold on. Man, it's ever so scary, man. They know when I'm coming out. Maybe I tell you all the time, nature records what happens in places like this. That's probably not even me. That's probably someone else who comes out all the time. All right, who's ready for a challenge? Is it going to be up to the chest up in here? I can't tell. The soils in this creek are so dark under the shadows, you can't tell a dang thing. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm just walking. I'm just going through it. Yeah, we can step right over this thing. Well, it's not what I thought it was, man. Hey, there's a plank of wood that probably came from somebody's barn from 1833. It'd be nice to collect some pieces like that and make a stash and just keep on going with it and build your own little shed or something, you know, barn, cool. It's not what I thought it was, though. Man, these things, you can't ever know what they are. From a distance, you know, it looks like a gravel barn. You see is that color sticking up out of the waters of eternity, and you come up to it, and it's a sandbar. Go figure. I told you, man. It doesn't matter what you do out here in this part. Someone has already beat us out here. Doesn't matter how hard you try half the time. I tell you right now, they're not out here to fish either. Looks like somebody already grabbed all the paleo. Man, that's maddening for real. Entirely maddening. Man. I came all the way out here just to find out there's not going to be a dang thing out here. Somebody probably came out today. Yeah, man, we screwed up royally. We did big time. I'm telling you, it's just one of those places I think I should just come out to every single time and forget all the other ones. Boy, how much did we miss in the past 2 or 3 months, man? Completing that tribulation. all around. Boy. Man, they don't play around when they come out looking for artifacts. They don't play. They don't play. Why am I even looking? See, like I told you, they're not going to be focused on anything like this. At least I have some kind of history in my hand, for real. When they come looking, don't they? See, look what they stepped on. And broke that thing. Beautiful design on this thing too, man. Talk about a busy little gravel bar. Talk about a busy creek. I was thinking about something though. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here now. There's no reason to keep on going. I know I probably might find a couple of little tiny shards of pottery and that's it. Oh, it's a piece of bark. It's gonna be 6:30 by the time I get back. Gotta listen to nature. They know what's up. I think they already gave us the answer and I should have just stayed on the other side. You know what answer I'm talking about. I talked about it when I was looking at the piece of wood. Yes, that one. That piece of wood that had a human figure on it, looking down to the ground with the left arm looking like they were pointing at something, like they spotted something of historical significance. Nature was warning us that the place was already covered by someone else. That is not us. And that was the sign that they gave us to tell us there was no need to go further because they already recorded it in history and time. And they floated that thing right up there. Probably dropped it out of a tree right before we even got there. Of course, you know I don't give up. I know I talked a bunch of smack earlier today. And I never give up. I just keep on going until it gets dark. Got a couple hours to look around. When you don't give up, they might give us something. Maybe nothing at all. Get that big old rock off of that thing. Well, she's got a busted tip. Oh well. Don't ask me how I saw the brown within the brown. At an angle. Beautiful. The brown and the white and the gray. Hiding within the brown, white, and the gray. In the mud. Completely covered up. Well, little tiny tip ding. No biggie. At least the other 93.9% is still there. Never give up. A lot of this stuff can be anything, really. Especially when it comes to this kind of geology. I just don't know. I mean, it looks like a very complete, massive Mora mountain or something like that with a stem on the bottom. It's got that world famous curve to it. Can't tell if it's been worked. If nature made this thing, then what? I ask this question all the time. If nature made it, then the natives must have copied what they found. And the natives were smart, man. I'm looking. Heard a noise. It looks very legit, man. I'm not about to do a strength test on it. You're saying, look at the serrations. Look at its scalloped edge. That might tell you something. I don't know. You're going to say it would have been sharper 4,677 years ago. This will be quite the recovery today, if it was legit. Man. Ain't no telling, though. There's somebody down there. I don't know. I hear stuff. What the heck do I get myself into at like 7:20 I have an hour before darkness, but it's getting darker quicker because there's this one single cloud that's blocking the sunlight, man. And I'm out here doing Rambo style all day today, man. They got a little bit buck wild out here. I didn't know it was going to be something like this, though. You're going to say, you should have gotten out there first. You should have gotten out there earlier. Well, look at it this way. No matter what I find and recover in this little tiny part of the creek, I would have collected it anyway. Regardless of what time. Look, another finger-pointed rock. I see it all. It's like the 5th one already today. That's a weird one. The finger is extra long. It was pointing us back in that direction. I don't know if they're pointing to garbage or what. They're not always rocks, though. They could be made out of anything, just as long as they get the point across. Heck yeah, 8:22, man. I've gone about as far as I can. And it's starting to get a little bit dark out here. And I'm about 30 minutes from the parking area. Man, it always happens like this. It's the widest thing in here. I can't go past that gigantic log jam right there, man. What the heck do I do to myself out here to try to recover history? It's the widest thing right here. I think, you know, it could be broken. It looks a little bit too fat. It could be nothing at all. Oh, well, I guess it is intact. Maybe a little bit of the bottom right-hand side is busted off. Georgia boy style. Great recovery. And I recovered the last 3 pieces the last couple of hours. Man, sharp as a knife. I know it might be a little bit chipped. Can't really tell if that's from manufacturing processes or what. Or the laws of nature. Look at that tip on that thing, though. Beautiful, man. Man, what you know about that? With this kind of daylight, I could have had a chance to look for another 25, 30 minutes and found one more, or even 2 more. Beautiful. Thank you for the light at this hour, 9:02. Nearly impossible. Got some things in this bag we need to take a look at. Let's go and do this thing right. Well, would you look at that? You talk about a very successful day today. Look at this grand collection right here, man. I don't know about you, but it looks to be nothing but historical stuff. You know, I guess you can mark the baseball down as being historic. I guess you can mark down the fully intact natural light right here. No, I'm not about to open that thing. That's like the 4th one I collected in the past couple of years, man. It's very hard to find a can that is fully intact, you know. It takes a while for the lost nature to knock down the door, open that thing up so they get their sip. Maybe I should just left it out there for them. Someone's always looking for a party, you know. Maybe it was this little guy. Don't come across the rubber duckies that often. When I do, I collect. Maybe somebody in their Jeep flipped over or something like that. Maybe it blew out. Who knows? You see them things on their dashboards these days, that trendy thing they got going on. The heck is that thing? Just garbage I don't know. What the heck is that? Piece of plastic? Fill in the void. It's what the natives love to do. They like to fill in the voids when it comes to their historical artifacts, Continuity when it comes to their designs, especially when it comes to the pottery. Yeah, the void space is part of the design. Who knows? Could be different though. Look at that little tiny finger pointing rock. Yeah, got another one. That's a tiny one too. I know, it's just the way nature breaks it. Look, there's a face right there in it too. Look at that. You see that face? There's the nose. There's the mouth. Their left eye and their right eye. And then you got the highlight to kind of outline the geometries of the face. Yeah. That's cool though. You guys crazy. You're going to say, you crazy, man. Not when it comes to this. I'm crazy for it. Oh, look at that. Oh boy, yeah. Designs are nice today again. Really. Got to go long and hard for some of these things. Look how thick that thing is. But that's not the thickest one of the day, is it? Is it? No, this one is. This thing weighs a ton right here. I want to know how big of a pot you got to make, to carry this kind of load. How heavy was the pot? Well, the bowl, the pot, That's what I'm talking about. Look at that little burn layer in that. That black line. That's on the inside. Or I'm seeing things. No, it rubbed off from the ash here. Yeah. Some of the time I just don't know what I'm talking about because I'm looking around too much at other things. I know it's been a while since I collected Native American ash because I started getting too much of it, But this one's a special case. It is. This one's a special one because it's hard as a rock. This thing is solid, compacted. It could be well over a few thousand years old in this thing. It's got some weight to it. It's almost like it's its own rock. Probably you probably scratch off a few pieces, but Look at that piece of soil in that thing. Piece of gravel. Piece of sand. That's cool though, guys. I don't know what to say about all this though. Who knows how long it took for that kind of layerage to happen. That amount of soil, not soil, but ash. That's crazy though, but let's go ahead and look at these things right here. These things are crazy though. I don't know if these are little axe heads for the babies or what. Look how it's snapped right there though. It still could be a preformed blade. Could be a preformed scraper. But why would you make this as a scraper? It's not even sharp enough. It's not chert, it's not quartz, it's not crystal. But it looks like it's been worked and it weighs a lot. It's the same material as this thing right here. Some kind of weird conglomerate granite stuff. Sometimes it's easier to break, sometimes it's not. But this thing right here, when I picked this thing up, I was talking about it, I was like, that looks like it could be a kid toy. Imagine that though, guys. Imagine that. I've got a few in my collection that are almost the exact same shape and size. There's something to this though. There's something to this. The adults are not going to give the children the large sharp ones, I keep saying that, shop. Go to the shop. Yeah. But this thing right here, look at the size of this thing. It's sharp on the edges, kind of scalloped. Don't know if the laws of nature did this thing, or if this is a Lord's blade, a Lord's spear tip. It's got some weight to it though. It's got that Mora Mountain base to it, or some kind of not late, but could be late archaic. I'm not sure though. Looks like this side kind of might have been busted off. Maybe that's how they left it. But it's thin, it's scalloped, and it's made. Maybe it could have been chipped off a little bit over the years, the many centuries out there. But this has got to be something right here. If the laws of nature made this, you know what I'm about to say. What I say all the time when we come across stuff like this. If the laws of nature made this thing, then who learned from who? Who copied who? Man, that thing's got to be legit. That's one heck of a blade for real. One heck of a spear tip. Weird though, man. Weird. This thing, I just collected it. Looks like it could have been some kind of knife. Maybe it's just a chip off the old block, but it's definitely sharp. Don't see a lot of this out there though in that one creek. I think I discovered this thing about 3 years ago and left it out there. But these things here, you know how hard it was to see this thing, but we were lucky enough to see it in that one little tiny spot. I know, Georgia boy style. Not really East Tennessee, not really Kentucky. But it's definitely good enough of a day. For real. Good finds, good recoveries for today. Got to keep it going. Got to make 2024 a very monumental year. You know, this ain't practice. It's game time. See you later.